Hello, I'm Peter Trautman, Realtor with East Key Realty in Rochester, New Hampshire. Welcome to this month's Rochester, New Hampshire housing market update for the month of July 2025. This month we will explore the ins and outs of the market and provide a few predictions for the next few months. With 152 active listings in July, homes were staying on the market for only about 21 days. The median sales price in Rochester is up 1.7% over last year's at $429,000. Homes are selling on average 102.6 higher than list price. Now that does not mean that every home is selling for more than ask, but on average, if a home is listed at one price, it's going for roughly 102.6% higher based on competition with multi-offers, cash buyers, etc. It's still a seller's market. 64.3% of the homes sold for more than list price. So that's where that number gets adjusted. Not every home is selling for that much, but 64.3 are. And closings on average are only taking 21 days. That is a good indication that most of the buyers are coming in already fully financed or through underwriting or are cash buyers. There were only 15 new listings in July for 2025. That means inventory is still fairly low. 79% of the buyers are from Rochester area, so they're staying close to home. 21% of the transactions are people looking to sell and move away from Rochester, or move from Rochester if they're renting and move somewhere else. And many of the new buyers coming in, roughly 3%, are from out of state. Many of them are coming from New York, Hartford, Connecticut, and Springfield, Massachusetts. There have been minor fluctuations in the overall appreciation year over year for Rochester. Small price adjustments are noticed. Nothing really sweeping or major is being shown in the current data for the month of July. There is still an imbalance of supply and demand. 20% more homes sold this year than last. However, there is still much lower inventory than normal. Closings are happening faster, but it is still limited over the previous years, so it is still a highly competitive market for buyers. Sellers market, that hasn't really changed in the last couple of years. Professional staging can help sellers increase their offers as much as 5 to 15%. So if you're looking to sell your home and you've already moved out, you may want to consider adding to your budget staging, because it could potentially get you a higher amount of foot traffic because more people will want to see your home, but also the offers may be higher. Pricing strategically is crucial. 22.9% of homes are still experiencing price drops. I don't know about you, but when you're looking through the MLS and you're on your favorite website searching for homes, when you favorite a home and notice that every couple of weeks the price is dropping, what's the first thing you think of? I know for me, the first thing I'm thinking of is, what's wrong with that home? It must have gone under and failed an inspection, or why in a market with so little inventory is a home that looks very pretty not selling? So that is important to know, that when you're selling a home, price it appropriately. A lot of sellers want it to show up online for the dollar amount they're looking for. And what they're doing with that strategy is often cutting out many buyers that aren't looking at that high of a price point. However, you may bring more buyers and attract more buyers if your home is priced appropriately. And in a multiple offer situation, you may get the higher price that you really want based on competition. So that's where having a good agent comes in. That's where negotiation skills are very important. And for buyers, that simply means you need to get pre-approved. The further along through financing you are, the better. Just because you have a home loan doesn't mean you're not as good as cash. So talk to your agent. If you don't have an agent, feel free, reach out to me. I'm happy to give advice to people as long as it is about real estate. Having said that, the neighborhood spotlight for Rochester looks pretty good. Downtown offers great walkability. So if you are looking for a lifestyle where you have lots of shopping close by and you don't necessarily want to hop in a car to drive around everywhere to go, eat out for dinner or whatnot, walkability is great in Rochester. East Rochester remains more popular with families who are seeking newer construction homes and larger lots. I myself am building a home in Rochester, and for exactly that reason. So I thought it was funny when my market search to put this report together turned that up as a bullet point, because it is very true. I'm experiencing that myself. Um, the other part of the impact is migration and interest rate impact, is that interest rates are currently between 6.625 and 6.72%. And that, of course, is always subject to change. But what that means is the economists are projecting modest rate decreases by the fourth quarter of 2025. That means that buyers are going to have a bit more power than they've had in the last couple of years. And again, reminding, or keeping in mind that 79% are staying local. Many of you that may be seeing this video are currently living in Rochester. You may be living with roommates. You may be wanting to start a family, getting married. Your family may be growing. Rochester is still a great place to be. And I, would welcome a conversation about what your home needs are, because Rochester is a great place to stay and raise your family. 3% are coming from out of town, so that's exciting. There's always some new people to meet, so keep that in mind when you're thinking about Rochester. Again, continued inventory shortage is going to affect the market. Supply and demand. It is what it is. We can expect 1.5 to 2% increase in pricing moving forward. There are these nasty little tariffs going around that are going to affect some pricing, but also cost of living goes up every year. And the same home that may have been a new construction build last year at one price is going to see an increase this year moving forward, because the cost of building everything are higher. We are about to enter into the fourth quarter, which is traditionally a seasonal slowdown. That is a great opportunity for sellers to highlight their home during the holidays. A lot of people are afraid to do that, but believe it or not, it actually can show really well. It's also a great opportunity for buyers, because a lot of sellers may not believe they're going to be able to sell their home, but they list it on the market and they're more flexible in their pricing. They're more flexible in, having their goals met. So don't be afraid to look in the winter. It doesn't mean that there are no opportunities. And with the interest rates stabilizing, it's going to give more buyers that power to actually be that winning offer on a home when you do put an offer in. I thank you for taking the time to suffer through this entire video with me. My contact information is here. Please click like and subscribe below if you'd like to continue seeing my monthly market reports on Rochester. And if you'd like to reach out, my email and phone is there. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care.